Welcome to Flat Earth and other hot potatoes and cats. It's the holiday edition of the show. Thank you for being here. We're at episode number 47, and Mark Sargent joins us. Hello, Mark.
Is it over?
You didn't like it?
Is the cat song over?
I could play more if you'd like.
No, don't.
I have a whole album here.
No.
Every holiday song
do
known
that.
to
Oh
mankind.
my Lord! I know with the video, it's probably a lot cuter. On its own, though, wow.
Yeah, they had a barking dogs song when I was growing up, and I'm sure they still play it on mainstream radio.
Yeah.
But I always liked the Jingle Cats. That's what they're called.
Jingle cats.
Yeah. Look at the beautiful fireplace and the stockings hung with care.
I know. This is my hearth. This is actually just a 2-hour video you can download from YouTube, just about anything. And so I downloaded Christmas fireplace. There's a bunch of them out there. This one was HD, and so it's just a fireplace with a superimposed hearth with stockings over it. That's really
All right,
nice.
so there's one stocking for me.
Yeah.
One stocking for you.
Yep.
And then who are the other two stockings for?
Special people or special cats.
Ah, okay. We need
Or
one
special
more.
cats.
My cats, my three, are out. I've left them out because I play Jingle Cats. I thought they would maybe be part of the show, and they're in the other dining room, living room area. And they may pay a visit at some point, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
They're a little older now.
By the way, I am wearing a Christmas kind of type tweed jacket with I don't know if people can see this. I'll move
Come
forward.
closer.
So can you see that? Is that in frame, sort of?
Pretty.
Christmas pin.
Very nice.
Yep. Happy
Very nice of
holidays,
you.
everybody.
Yeah, nice of you to do that. Put the effort in.
You know,
Yeah.
if you're
I
gonna
went with
do it,
some like a snow look. I don't know what you call it.
you got to commit. Go strong or don't go at all.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
and I've got a
you've worn some
crazy
very
ring
nice.
on too.
Yeah, I've never seen a ring with a hinge on it.
Yeah, it's hinged.
That's
I'm
probably-
not sure what the purpose is. Punching
It's-
somebody?
Yeah, as I'd say, it's probably from your dungeon. just grabbed it off the rack. It normally comes with a spike and some blades on the side, and
And I want to point out that over my shoulder here, another chance to show the ring off, there's two flat earth clocks that have yet to be hung. And again, my apologies to those who've given me these lovely clocks. I went to hang them up for today's show as I said I would, and I don't have any nails. And it was too close to showtime for me to run out and buy some.
don't believe
they're-
what she says,
they're
folks.
right
She does
there.
not hang her own stuff.
No, I do.
Period. And
No,
there
I do.
wasn't. She didn't.
There they are.
None of the servants were on call, and it's like.
There they are. No, they're right there. I'm lifting up my thing there, so anyone.
Also,
can see
she
it.
is wearing a Snow Queen outfit. Remember the word there, Queen.
Yeah.
So
Well, we're here to talk about flat Earth.
are we?
Yeah. Aside from cats and stockings and all of that.
Oh
sort
wait,
of
I
stuff.
have Christmas cookies.
I was going to say, do you have a Christmas cocktail maybe for me?
Individually, well, no, I've got my ice water here just because.
Okay. Maybe New Year's for the cocktail. One drink.
New Year's is really more of a cocktail thing. I mean, I could do eggnog, but wow, that's some rich stuff. Anyone ever looked at the side of a thing of eggnog? Let's see,
They
there's
have
two-
soy eggnog
I have
and
two.
almond eggnog, and it is so good.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Regular old eggnog with rum in it. All right.
Okay. Yes, I would go with the soy, the vegan one, but with
there's
rum in it too.
There's a star Christmas cookie
Pretty.
and a heart Christmas cookie.
Love it.
So, okay, but
My
I may
mouth's
or may not
watering
be,
now.
or I may not be munching any of these during the show.
All right.
So we'll see.
Okay. I'm filled with Christmas cheer just seeing you here. All right.
Sincere? I don't know, but
Sincere? No, my dear.
the words, they meant something anyway. What's so what are we talking about today?
Well, we've got a bunch of things to talk about. We want to look at what happened in the flat earth world this past week, kind of a recap like we usually do. And then I've got some emails that I've received. And you can email me for next show at MISS, Steere, my last name, Steere, Miss Steere at gmail.com. And then I'll read it next week. But these are the ones I've gathered from this week. Also, of course, Q&A is open, and we'll go to your Q&A questions and read them live on the air. And we've got a bunch of people viewing live so far, and hopefully more will come. Really nice that you are there. And I know there's a couple trolls, so we welcome you as well. Just be nice, okay?
Even trolls have hearts.
Yes.
Black and gruesome, but they have hearts.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. All right, well, let's talk about the most recent thing that happened in the flat earth world. Well, there's many things that have happened, but in regard to you, which would be the debate, which really actually was more of a conversation on Truth Frequency Radio hosted by Chris and Sherry Geo, with you and the premier UFO expert in the world, Stanton Friedman. Just happened the other day. What do you think? How did it go?
When we did our last show, he was initially scheduled for the Art Bell show, right? Because it was canceled right after that, I think.
Yes, Art, for those who didn't, keep track of all this stuff, he retired because he supposedly had terrorism activities surrounding his home and his child got scared.
Bunch of crap.
Yeah, I don't really know if I quite believe that, but whatever, be that as it may.
He wanted to avoid the topic, avoid the debate, and he canceled the show. And I'm going to go with that. But it was moved over. There was a few people vying for it, and Truth Frequency Radio with Chris and Sherigio, they picked it up, and real short notice, they said, okay, we're going to do it. It'll be this last Saturday. And we got on there, and Stanton called in from his home, which is northeast of Maine. So he was on Atlantic time zone. So there's Pacific, Mountain, Central, Eastern, and Atlantic. Nobody lives on Atlantic, but he does. So he was 4 hours ahead of us. So it was, by the time we finished that,
he also has this is Flynn, by the way, wishing you a happy holiday season. He doesn't like to be held. Watch, see. Well,
hi, Flynn.
Hello, Flynn. There you go. He's a boy, by the way. He also lives in Canada too. He has dual residency.
Yeah,
Stanton does.
Yeah, but I was a little concerned. I mean, I knew there was a chance it was going to happen, and that was that he wasn't going to do any homework on it at all. He was just going to go in and say, well, I don't think he thought that we meant it literally. He thought, metaphorically, like, oh, flat earth, crazy stuff, and flat earth way of thinking, how it's been portrayed in the news lately. Like, if you don't believe in climate change, you must be a flat earther, that sort of thing. And so it was obvious during the first few minutes of it wasn't even really a debate. It was more of a tutorial. He was like, wait, this, kind of like, like a lot of people, it's like, wait, this is real. This is a real thing. This is actually a serious thing. And it's like, and again, followed by, wait, how does this work? How does this work? How does this, and are you saying that all these other things are wrong? Those things being everything basically that NASA tells us. And he wasn't getting, because he kept breaking it down into segments. It's like, well, this part of NASA and this part of NASA and this part of NASA, like the Pluto thing, the Mars thing, the moon mission, the ISS. It's like all those things. He kept talking about it separately. Like that joke I think I told you when Homer was talking to Lisa on The Simpsons, and when she was going to become a vegetarian, and he goes, wait, you're not going to eat pork chops anymore? No. Bacon? No. Sausage? And she goes, Dad, they're all from the same animal. And he goes, oh, sure.
I've heard that same kind of thing as a vegan. It's not just on The Simpsons. Some people aren't thinking that far ahead. And Stanton's a brilliant man. It's just he wasn't able to free himself from global thinking.
And I didn't expect him to, to go along with it right away. And I even told him during it, I said, look, I'm not going to convince you during this thing. I just want to plant the seeds in your head. But he just couldn't accept the fact that, because he knows astronauts personally from dealing with them over various things. In fact, one of them, I think, wrote the foreword to one of his books. And he just couldn't accept the fact that they were lying. Are you calling them liars? They're friends of mine. And I'm going, it's has nothing to do with, if they're friends of yours. It's like if they were paid to do a job, they're Air Force employees, or in this case, NASA employees. And they were going to lie for the greater good. They were going to lie because maybe they felt threatened. And if you didn't lie, like I think Gus Grissom, wasn't going to go along with it, then you pay the consequences. So, yeah.
So I think it went really well. And I also think that some people thought that you bringing up UFO aspects was not a good idea, but I understood why you did it, because you're trying to talk with him on his level of awareness, because he's the UFO guy. And you were trying to assure him that potentially there could be other beings that could
Well,
be a part of the flat Earth because of what he
yeah,
said.
I mean,
It would make more
look, it's
sense, and it would be easier for them to get here if what he is talking about is true on a flat Earth as opposed to flying from super far away.
let's be realistic here. If you have the chance, and not many people do, to get the world's greatest UFO researcher on the line with you, and you got him captive pretty much for 3 hours, you're gonna eventually ask him about UFOs, or at least relay some of the stuff that you know. And you and I have not been shy. I mean, you and I both showed off our night vision binoculars, and I was glad I did, because when I mentioned, I was like, oh yeah, I've been looking with night vision binoculars, and I've been seeing a lot of stuff flying around the sky, and it ain't us. And he absolutely agreed with me. He's going, yeah. He goes, night vision, that's where it's at. I could tell by the enthusiasm in his voice, because that's fairly recent in his decades and decades long study of UFOs. So yeah, it was trying to get some sort of common ground with him, because I was trying to work into, where I was going with this, where I was trying to work in the model where it's like, look, if you believe in UFOs and you believe in spaceships, you're pretty open-minded about a few things. And isn't it possible that the flat model works better with any sort of advanced civilization, whether or not they're from another planet or they're old civilizations, maybe old Atlantis or old Mayan or old pyramids or whoever is running those ships up there, that it works better in a flat model. And I was trying to, just trying to coax him into that. And he just couldn't get around the fact that NASA would have to be faking everything. And I said, yes, that's the whole point of the argument. It's like, NASA is faking everything. And he just couldn't do it. Still
well,
won't.
it really wasn't a debate, as we had said. It was
No.
more of a conversation. And I think it was interesting. It was a very civil conversation. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't get angry. And, we're kind of attacking everything he believes in and everything he's done. So hats off to him for being so good about it. And you handled yourself well, too. It's it's not a debate, but it's a step forward to eventually what will happen. There will be real debates, I'm sure, that will get heated.
I think it's a bit, well, I don't even know it's going to be that heated. I mean, yeah, we all know the forums get heated, but it's always the same argument. And that is, flat Earth is dumb, and well, no, flat Earth is trying to, project this. And, we lay out things. And then the rebuttal is always flat Earth stupid. It's like, oh, that's not a rebuttal. That's just your knee-jerk reaction kicking in. That's your first grade classroom kicking in. Anybody who doesn't believe in the globe in the classrooms is stupid. That's the argument you pose when you're 6. It's not the argument you pose when you're over, I don't know, 18. Then the arguments should go into something else. But for me, I'm not going to call him a hypocrite necessarily, but there are some interesting, you can't believe in, where he says, I can't trust NASA. NASA has a lot of things wrong with it, but yet every operation that they've ever said they've done is completely legit and above board. There's a mixture of stuff there that doesn't match up with each other. If he wanted to say secret space program and say, well, no, not only has NASA done everything that they've said they've done, but they've also done a secret space program, a whole bunch of other space shuttles, and we've gone all sorts, and we've got colonies on the moon. If he wanted to go down that road, yeah, I could see that, but he didn't. He just kept saying, and there was a lot of information he didn't know about NASA, especially the Orion thing that I trapped him into at the end.
He didn't even know about it. By the way, Greer is here to say happy holidays.
Hi, Greer.
My beautiful girl cat. Okay, let's put her down. Okay, one more yet to come, whoever approaches next.
If Bitsy makes an appearance, I will be sure to hold her up.
I don't know why I want to show them off. I've had people ask me, let's see your cat. So
yeah.
Anyway,
but anyway, it was a good discussion, and I'm glad it was out there. Quite a few people have said that they wish that he was more prepared, or at least tried to go into it with some sort of knowledge, and he didn't. And there's going to be some guys, I bet you though, there's not going to be too many people other than him that are going to make that mistake, because an astrophysicist has got in fact, there was I think remember their YouTube channel? It's fairly new. The painter guy, or the indoor painter, whatever that guy's name was. Remember him? You and I have watched him before. Well, anyway, he came out and basically said that he made a comment that anybody that debates this from the globe side better have their ducks in a row. They better have everything ready, because if you go in like you have no idea what, you're just going to look silly. Again, not that Stanton looked silly, he just looked uninformed. And honestly, he's not going to be, because he's too tied in with, he's met enough NASA people. Yeah, I just don't think he's going to buy it. I just don't think he's going to. but that's fine.
Yeah, you can't expect everyone to. I think it was just good practice and an interesting thing of note that happened in the flat Earth world this past week.
Yeah.
All right. Well, wonderful. That's good. It came out okay. Some people were saying to me, "Oh, Mark's going to bring up, the dome, and he's going to bring up this sort of speculation and all of that." Well, those are your beliefs, so of course you're going to touch on what you believe in. But you did keep it fairly open to all different sorts of flat Earth world beliefs.
Of course. And again, of course, I'm going to bring up the dome because that's the model I believe in. If you believe in the infinite plane and you were talking to him, you're going to bring up the infinite plane, or you're going to bring up a hybrid of the two, or whatever it is, you're going to bring it up. Am I saying that my model is absolutely 100% right? No, of course not. There's room for discussion there. That's why we have different camps that are doing this. What everybody is agreeing on is that the world as it is portrayed to us is not a globe, not by a long shot. There's something missing there. And there is something I also want to add, and that was, I didn't get a chance to tell him, but maybe I'll mention on the Jimmy Church show tomorrow. And as the reason this thing is getting as much traction as it is, the reason it is building and going and growing, isn't because of the huge amounts of evidence on the flat Earth side. Is there a lot of conjecture on the flat Earth side? Yes, absolutely there is. What's missing is the mountains of evidence that's supposed to be on the mainstream science side. That's why this thing is growing so big, because there should be literally, which is why this thing should have been squashed back in February, and it wasn't. There should be mountains of evidence on the flat Earth, on the mainstream side. And there isn't. There's bits and pieces here and there. Right, there's a snapshot here and a little time lapse here, but most of it's not that good and it's not very definitive. Again, there should be, I'll boil it down to a real quick thing. That is, there's a snapshot here and a snapshot there. There should be tens of thousands of pictures of the Earth, full-blown pictures of the Earth. We have, 2, 3 as of right now, December 2015. There should be thousands of hours of video of the Earth rotating on its axis from all sorts of different distances. There are none. The Galileo footage has been disavowed by NASA. They're not even saying that's the real stuff. They're saying, especially since the weather formations got screwed up. It's because of, that's what makes it, and notice the play on words here, a level playing field, because everything that should be on the mainstream science side is gone. It's not there. Everything on the flat side, it doesn't have to be that high at all, because now you pretty much got head to head, and it shouldn't be that way if it's real life. It shouldn't be that way if it's true. Science should have just crushed this thing by now, and it hasn't. And it's not going to. If they haven't crushed it in 10 months, it's not going to, which is why this thing's going to just keep growing. That's my rant.
And what we were referring to, or what Mark was referring to earlier, was a YouTuber who's really nice. His name is Room Painter, and he did a video on the flat Earth debate, and what you were saying, Mark. Better be prepared if you're going to engage in something like that if you are a ball earther.
Yep.
All right, so that's some interesting stuff. We still have people who are sharing the Stanley Kubrick video as if it were real. So
that's fine.
That's still happening.
Yeah.
What else? Let's talk about the Jimmy Church thing that's coming up, and where people can watch that and when they can watch that. I know it's coming up tomorrow, but can you tell us more? And while you're talking, my cats are doing something bad, so I'm going to have to. They're going into lockdown, so I'll be back. No,
that's fine. That's fine. Jimmy Church on Fade to Black show, I believe, is going to be interviewing me. It's a radio show, and it's going to be tomorrow night at 7:00 Pacific time. I forgot how long it's going to run, if it's going to run from 7 to 9 Pacific or 7 to 10 Pacific. But it was kind of short notice, and we're going to do it. So Strange World, which we'll also hear, it'll also air tomorrow night, will not be a live show. That'll be a pre-record that I'm doing, I think either tonight or tomorrow. And so the Jimmy Church show, I actually will be live on that. Strange World will not be live, but either way, both of them are going to go up on YouTube within 24 hours afterwards.
Okay, I'm coming back.
I tried to stall as long as I could.
It was good. It was good. I was able to catch two, but the one who's not been on camera yet today, Rory, is still with us. But when only one cat is around, it's not as bad. When there's three, they play off each other and create tearing down of things. So
got it.
Still kittens, Born in March, weirdly enough, when I became a flat earther. So they're my flat earth cats.
Got it.
Not yet a year old, still kittens, kind of. All right, so that's what happened, and that is what is going to happen. We do have Q&A open, and we're going to start reading some of those Q&A questions. Do you have family plans for the holidays, things you're going to be doing?
I do have family plans. I'm going to a Christmas service on Christmas Eve with family at a local church, and my 97-year-old grandfather is going to be there. And then Christmas morning, it'll be with family, and that's really the excitement. Nothing really special for New Year's other than doing a New Year's thing with you on this show. Oh, by the way, are we calling this Flatmas?
No Flatmas.
Not Flatmas?
I don't know. Nah.
Just the Christmas show, holiday show?
Yeah. Holiday edition. The Secret Show, holiday edition.
All right. Good enough.
But we might call the New Year's Eve show Fleers.
Fleers.
Yeah.
But
if
we are
anybody would know where that came from if they know where that came from. And if they don't,
should we talk about our special gift to the Flat Earth community that we're doing?
Yes, indeed we should, because I do want those who are, I don't know, interested to be on the lookout for it. Mark, why don't you talk about it? I'm going to put my glasses on and get ready to start reading Q&A.
All right. By that means she's got to tuck in the rest of her human face, because underneath it, it's reptilian. Just so you know.
I don't say that, because somebody did say, you know how they always tear apart anybody? This is hard to get on with my headband.
The face? Yeah, I would hope so.
No. You know how they, how some people try to, in the conspiracy world, tear apart anybody that's on camera and just say certain things about them. Well, somebody was saying she's reptilian. They were saying it about Orphan Red, and then they started saying it about me. So
seriously, somebody photoshopped some cat eyes onto.
No, don't do that, because
Patricia's
the
face.
thing is, it sounds cats are cool, but yet it sounds funny and everything like that. But most people would see it as a joke. But then there's the people out there who think those things are real. And you know, they go down a road that's we don't need people to go down. There's enough of that nitpicky stuff going on in the community. It's okay to disagree with models, or maybe you don't like a certain YouTuber, fine. But there's too much of that name calling stuff. I don't want to perpetuate any of it.
Okay.
You're like, I do.
I do. Make as many memes as you can. Best one gets a dinner with Orphan Red.
Right. Memes of him, not me. Give him the cat eye, not me.
I'm throwing Orphan Red under the bus, by the way.
Oh, poor Orphan Red.
I know. You got to feel bad for the Flat Earth Princess.
She is a Flat Earth Princess.
She is a Flat Earth Princess.
She is. She's going to be coming out with a new video pretty soon on the Mandela effect.
Cool. She really should.
She already did, and we don't know because of the Mandela effect.
She should be working at Disney Anaheim or Disney Orlando, reading stories to children. Reading fairy tales to children.
She would be the ultimate kindergarten teacher. Like,
she would.
The children would love her. The parents would love her. It would be fantastic.
Yep. I'm sorry. So the Flat Earth Christmas card 2015, this one is going to be a musical card. You know, those ones you love, you get from your grandparents. Like, look, you know, open up, happy holidays. And that song plays and you just hate it. But we're going to do, well, actually, we've already done it. We're just putting it together on the side. It is Patricia and I singing. That is us on vocals. Please do not be too brutal.
We really are not good, okay?
I know
I'm horrible. He knows he's horrible. We're not doing it because we want to be musicians or singers or whatever. But we did it because it was fun.
Patricia is way better than me. I sound like you would think a monster should sound when trying to sing. And, you know, she was, you know, she'll probably, you know, whoever's mixing the vocals on this side will probably lean on her a lot more. To the point where they'd be like, Mark, did you actually sing on that track? I'm like, no, I didn't.
Well, let's put it this way. We're no Jaron and Missa. Missa's got a beautiful voice. And they pulled off a couple of really great songs. And we're no Tiger Dan, who's done his raps, and other people who've done music. We're just we're low tier musically.
I think we're Tiger Dan. I think we're at least that.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. Maybe.
Oh, come on.
Maybe not you.
give him 100% for effort, but.
But the thing is we rewrote lyrics to a popular holiday song, and
Yeah.
or
No.
a popular song that's not holiday-ish, but that's been played during the movie Scrooged, and so it kind of gives it a holiday flair.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
That's all I'm going to say. And it's not about us singing, and we're not on camera singing, so you don't have to subject yourself to that. But what will be on camera? That's the interesting part. So it'll be finished soon.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not going to be finished by the time the show ends, but it'll be finished soon.
All right. So should we go with emails first, or should we go with Q&A?
Dealer's choice. Your choice.
All right. I'm dealing with these cards, which are pieces of paper.
Am I still in frame, by the way?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Look perfect. All right. This was sent to me by Bo, and the channel in question is BMISB69. BMISB69. It's a really cool video that just came out, I believe, today. And it's called, if you don't remember that channel name, Real Sun Rotation versus NASA. Earth is not spinning. And it is really great. And it's something that you can check for yourselves and verify. So watch this video that I just mentioned, and you will love it. I think I sent it to you. No, I sent it to David Weiss already. But anyway, it's just a really good video I recommend people check out about the sun. And it proves NASA's lie. Like, we need more proof, but it is.
Yeah, no, pile it on, sure.
All right, we have somebody named Christopher. I won't mention the last name because he did not say whether or not I would be allowed to. Thank you for your work. I just came to it yesterday. I build domes for a living. Wow. So naturally, the flat Earth model makes a lot of sense to me. Try to paint a descending double convex curve, and you will instantly recognize the land we live on is flat. If you're interested in off-the-grid living and like to check out my work, Biocharisma. I think I am interested in off-the-grid living in some way. But then in other ways, I'm not.
Cool.
Don't you feel like that too? I'd love to live off the grid and all of that, but the getting there and the building of things, that's the part that would be hard. It'd be like nice to live in the middle of nowhere. If it was completely set up and you could just walk in and then start up a garden and start, doing your own thing. Yeah. But anyway, he builds domes for a living. The flat Earth model makes more sense because he's tried to paint a descending double convex curve, and that helps him see the flat Earth model. So thank you, Christopher. Up next, we've got something from Suzanne, and I won't mention her last name, who writes, "This is a great idea of another fellow flat earther." And I will mention her name is, last name is Elizondo. I won't mention the rest because I don't know if this person wants their name mentioned. This person asked, are there any filmmakers, any actors or actresses, anyone with the funds available to help produce a movie? And this letter goes on. I know we have quite a few writers in here. What if we got together and beat NASA and the elite at their own game? We write a script for a movie about some teenagers or young adults who go on a trip from America to Australia or wherever. And during the journey, a few of the characters, possibly math nerds, begin to question why they never see a curve. From that point, the experiments begin. The vacation turns into a mysterious adventure as they uncover the secrets hidden in plain sight. It'll be an exciting thriller as they try to go to Antarctica. And that's it. So that would be fun. I think that flat Earth-based movies, not with it just mentioned in there, but a whole movie about flat Earth, that would be fantastic.
I think it's got a real chance.
Eventually.
Well, yeah, we've made movies about everything, but we've never made a movie about this concept. And, suspiciously absent from the rest of media. No television series. In fact, I don't think there's even books on it. So, yeah, somebody pitched that to somebody. Somebody knows somebody that knows a producer. It'd be great.
Another email. I will not mention the first name, but the last name is Brennan. And this person writes, I'm Irish, but currently live in Brazil. Love the videos. I've just started writing my book about flat Earth in Portuguese for the Brazilian audience. And I wondered if you have a thought or two about something and whether or not you've looked into it or somebody else could. So, assuming I'm right, the distance between the Earth and the Sun on the globe model remains relatively the same distance apart while they rotate. And if there is a slight variation, it's negligible as the Sun is so huge on the globe model. However, as the Sun sets, it looks as if the Sun gets smaller because on a flat plane it makes sense as it's moving away. And as it rises, it looks like it gets bigger because on a flat plane it comes closer. But on a globe model, that shouldn't even be a factor. It should come up looking huge already and not a tiny speck and the opposite. Just looking at sunrise time-lapse videos can prove this. Any ideas?
Yeah, Jeffrey Grupp already did a video on this. Look up zeteticism.com. That is the name of his YouTube channel, and watch videos that Jeffrey, I don't think he's pulled them down yet. I know he's working on a brand new one. Look on the one where he's measuring the sun and the diameter, what it looks like when it's going off into the distance. Check it out. You'll totally understand what you just described there. He's already made a video on it.
All right. Next up, from a person who says I can read their name, Thomas Ohlendorf writes, "You can read my name." That's always a good opening. Put it in the opening for sure. First of all, thank you for teaming up with Mark Sargent and sometimes with Jonathan. By the way, we need more Jonathan on Mark Sargent's show. Since you probably have Mark with you, and he probably will not read my apology on Strange World, I hope that you will. Oh, so this is somebody that owes you an apology, Mark. I haven't pre-read this, so let's hope there's nothing really crazy in here. To give some background first, he and Jonathan were doing an interview in which they mentioned trying ayahuasca. This happened to be added to the Art Bell announcement. I kind of went off on both of them in the comments and an email and called both of them idiots. They certainly are not idiots, and I let my emotions get the better of me. I saw Art using this as fodder to call all of Flat Earthers druggies. I should have just left it alone. Mark and Jonathan, I apologize for my actions and hope that you can forgive me. We all need to stick together in this. Mark, your clues opened the door for me, and I'll always appreciate that. And
yeah.
Continues on.
I get it. I totally get it. And you got to remember that the conspiracy people tend to overreact when it comes to stuff like that. And bringing in our character into the argument is not going to be something that's going to work with Flat Earth, because there's too many people from way too many different backgrounds. So I don't think I'd ever seen conspiracy people really grouped up as druggies. I mean, yeah, there's some that use drugs and there's some that drink. I have drank, and I've taken very, very few drugs in my life. Did I do ayahuasca? Yeah, I did. I read things on it, and I was like, wow, it seems like a creative enhancer. Did I like it? No, I did not like it. Will I do it again? We'll see. It depends. But yeah, I did not expect Art to bring it up, because it's a cheap shot. And anybody that brings that up, or anything else along those lines, I'd bring up even worse for them. It's like, because you can't lump in all our vices into an argument that's this big. So I get it. No, I get it though, because he wants it to be flawless. He wants it to be a flawless victory. It's not going to be flawless, but I really don't think character is going to be brought into it. And if it is, then that's the last ditch effort of whoever is debating us.
As you were saying, there's so many different kinds of people in Flat Earth who've come from so many different types of life prior to them finding Flat Earth.
Yeah.
There's people who are part of the Matrix. I'm sure eventually there's going to be people who are in politics who are going to become Flat Earthers. And you can't say, well, they're just a politician. People who've done drugs. There's been people who've done all sorts of things that, that you could point a finger at and blame them in some way for what they did prior to coming into Flat Earth, or even what they continue to do while they're Flat Earthers. That doesn't play any role in any of this at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, people give us crap, because of, they said, oh yeah, they were drinking on the show, which we weren't. But even if we were, and we might
have a drink for New Year's Eve.
Have a drink on New Year's Eve. It's like, look, what has drinking got to do with anything? I mean, yeah, some people don't believe in any alcohol at all, and that's totally fine. But it has nothing to do with the movement, And some people are like, well, you can drink, but you can't drink a lot. It's like, really? So is it zero tolerance, or is it some tolerance? What if I was a raging alcoholic? Would that I would think that would put into question my character more than anything. So, yeah.
Exactly. That's nice that he took that time to write there.
Yes. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you.
All right. Next one. And this is from Gary Heather, who says it's okay to use his name. Hello, Patricia. Firstly, well done to Mark for the great interview with Stanton. Mark rocks, and we are most fortunate to have you both fighting for the truth. Question. How do you both see this going if the truth does indeed come out? Surely it will be met probably along these lines. 1, initial shock. Then 2, lots of questions. 3, anger. 4, what else has the governments of the world lied about? 5, potential breakdown of society, or at least huge unrest. Regards, Gary. What do you think about his breakdown of those things that might happen once and if this ever goes mainstream?
Yeah, yeah. If you're the government, you can either get out in front of this, and it's better to, what is it, ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. One of those deals. They can either get out in front of this and try to lessen the damage and say, look, it wasn't our fault. We were just trying to do what we thought was for the greater good. They can try that, but the chances are they're not going to. They're going to go down the other road and mix this with something else, or create a distraction that's so big that even if people knew about the flat Earth, they're going to be too busy with whatever this other thing is to care. So yeah, I mean, would there be civil unrest? I don't think people can be rioting in the streets. Would there be civil lawsuits? Oh yeah. Yeah, there would, because there's some corporations out there which would have been lying since day one, and those corporations would be sued literally into the ground, to where the only thing left of the building would be the foundation. So we'll have to see. But it could be turned into something good if they handle it right. But nobody's ever asked me. I got a plan, but I'm not going to say it on air.
Oh wow! Now you got me curious. Oh well. All right, time for us to go to Q&A here on Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes, the secret show with Mark Sargent and I, and special holiday edition. I do have some holiday DVDs to show in a bit, but we'll go answer some Q&A questions because I don't want to miss out on anything anybody has written. So feel free to sign into Google Plus and then click the thing that looks like a Rubik's Cube, and then you'll get in. Hopefully it's just as easy as that. All right, I'm going to, hopefully I'm not going to read any troll people trying to pretend to be other people. So it happened last time. I'm a little sharper today, and a little wiser. Matthew Eugene, okay, you're like, no, you aren't.
No, whatever.
Thanks.
Fool me once.
Shame on.
Shame
you won't
on.
get fooled again.
Well, the point is, you can't get fooled again. He should have never started that.
Wow.
Because it's not easy to remember unless you've said it a lot.
Right.
Yeah,
well, and of course, teleprompter probably not working, and no script writer.
Yeah, he was screwed. Yeah, he went off. Yeah, he went off cuff on that one, and it's like, oh, dude.
Funny. All right, Matthew Eugene Rosa. I know it's really him. I can trust him. He's a good guy. Writes, if people want to hear a real debate, maybe it'll happen tomorrow night on Jimmy Church's show when Mark's on the show, because Jimmy's been trashing Mark and Flat Earth for months now. We'll see if Jimmy has a spine and says it to Mark's face. Ooh, did you know that, Mark?
I did.
You're like, whatever.
Look, the point is, I'm still on the show, and if he wants to, where's he? I don't know what angle he's going to come from that I haven't heard already. So let him come. If he's going to try to defend this from science's point of view, he's going to have a really, really tall, if not impossible, order, because there's just nothing there to defend it from a science point of view. There's too many things that are missing on the science side, and too many questions on the flat Earth side which cannot be answered. So, yeah, whatever he wants to do, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Thank you, Matthew. Up next, we have Mr. G, who writes, good evening, Earthlings, and a very Merry Christmas to everyone in the Flat Earth community. Thank you. Nice to hear that.
That was it?
Yeah, it's just nice.
Okay.
It is nice. It's just nice.
It is nice.
These, it's really cool. Let's see. Another comment is, a very good job, Mark, during the Stanton-Friedman discussion. It wasn't a debate, because I'm thoroughly convinced Stanton is maybe going to look into Flat Earth. So,
he's going to. He's going to, but given that he said that he's only got 8 or 9 years left to live, because based on his family lineage,
he had a heart attack and had a stent, or maybe 2 heart attacks and had a stent put in.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it would be kind of good, unless he really, really cares about his legacy. I think it'd be fun to go down this road if I were him. But I got a funny feeling he's just going to stick with the bread and butter UFO stuff and not get anything fancy. And
it kind of reminds me of women that you see when they get older. Some women, they go crazy with how they dress. They're like, dye their hair purple, put a mohawk, wear some crazy gown or crown. Hey, maybe we could say that's me, but Maybe a little overly.
let's say you're a snow queen for this show, but that's okay.
Well, what I mean is they go crazy. They go crazy town with how they're dressed because no more do they need to follow societal conventions. They're just going to, let their freak flag fly and be who they are. And maybe Stanton is going to go down the flat Earth road toward these latter years of his life. That would be tremendous. But even if he doesn't, it doesn't matter. We're going forward.
I don't think he will because of his personal connections with NASA, with people at NASA, friends. Because he in going down the flat Earth road, he basically has to, by default, a symptom of going down flat Earth is basically saying that NASA is a fraud, and he's not going to do that. He just won't. It's too valuable an asset for him. So because if anyone from NASA can help him produce material, he's not going to remove that. He might as well be taking money out of his pocket.
All right.
Sorry, it's true.
Yeah. Up next, a comment from Wake the Sheeple, 2016. He had that channel, then he went to another channel, and then he's back with this channel. So he says, not a question, but a statement. I hope that you and Mark and everyone has a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Cheers, and God bless, Michael. Thank you.
Cool.
All right. Next up, sorry, it's taking a moment to load. From Aaron Eddy HYO, would it be a good idea for somebody with a platform to task their views with helping to participate in a parallax project? People from all over the world could submit sun moon angle info on the hour every hour, as well as their geolocation.
Yeah, it might work. Might. But don't be worried if it fails, because I still believe that there's instances being used from a programming standpoint. So parallax, comparison shots, is it proving parallax? I don't think you're going to see anything, but you could try. Sure, why not? It'd be a nice little community group project anyway.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm not going to say, nah, it's a dumb idea, just don't do it. No, go ahead. But don't be completely disappointed if it doesn't pan out for you.
Well, here's an idea or a thought. Brian Mullen of Balls Out Physics.
Yeah.
I interviewed him a month or so ago, more than a month ago, on my show. Great guy. Really great information using mathematics to show the world is not a globe. And I feel my cat here might hear him meowing. He's back. I was quite worried where he had gone, and many people had messaged him. I'd messaged him. He disappeared. He did 3 videos, and that was it. And people were wondering, did the government get him, or did society get him? And he just decided to back it down when it came to flat Earth because he was maybe going to lose a career. But now he's back, and he's got a new video out, Balls Out Physics, Brian Mullen, and it's a great video. But he's actually looking into something along the lines of a form of the rectilineator experiment.
Right. Yes. And I saw that, and a friend, another YouTuber was actually giving him crap for it. The guy that also mentioned this, and I would have thought he would have been like, right on, somebody on my side. And no, he's tearing them apart.
Well, okay, by the way, the one remaining cat had not yet been seen. This is Rory. He's boy. Can you hear him purr?
I can't.
No, he's purring.
Oh.
He's the calmest of the 3. It's so he wants to. The video is called "Force the Line," and he's not saying, "Oh, concave Earth," and he's a concaver now. It's nothing like that. He's just saying, "Hey, let's do it. Let's measure this thing."
Yeah.
And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. I'm glad Brian's back in it, and good for him. Smart guy. Like listening to him.
Yeah, I'm glad he's okay. I was worried actually about him physically. So got Rory kind of crawling on me now. All right. So we've got Calvo on Red Pill, who writes, okay, Mark, do you think the military reached the wall and are using the NASA budget to fund these missions?
Some of it, sure. I mean, but you remember, you got to spend some of the money on NASA equipment, because remember, you've got to at least create the illusion that we're controlling the sky. So, the rocket program, there are real rockets. They did build them, and there's a lot of people employed at NASA. Did they divert some of that money? Yeah, you bet. But there's other ways you can funnel money into different things, like, I don't know, a fake drug war, for one, or a fake, arms for rebels type thing. You can channel money in all sorts of different ways. Drugs would probably be the easiest way to do it, rather than just a straight up budget. That must maybe be me.
All right.
But are they spending a ton of money down the ice? Yeah, maybe. But if they can't get through it, they're going to have to spend money other ways, which is why I kind of mentioned HARP. Is HARP kind of related to this, or is it just a weather control program, or is it a weather control program that was initially designed to see if it could do anything with harmonics in relation to the structure? Same thing with CERN. CERN is a particle accelerator, but what else can it do? I think there's stuff being hidden in plain sight as well.
And some say CERN isn't even a particle accelerator. It's just, they're just saying that it is.
Sure.
It's that everything is just a lie, really. Oops.
Yeah. Maybe.
That's going crazy. Martin Leedke of Flat Earth British gives me a nice compliment, which I won't read because it's just too nice. Thank you, Martin. Well, it's just very sweet. It sounds weirdly egotistical. Probably just saying that was egotistical, but I had to mention his name. So, here's an addendum to a question that was just answered, or we touched on it. Is what I mean by the parallax project is that each participant would have to use a sextant to measure the angles of the sun, moon compared to somebody else in the world at the same time, revealing their distances. He said he ran out of characters earlier.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, try it.
Have you ever seen a sextant in real life?
In real life, yes, I have. I have not used one, though. So I remember I grew up on the water out here. And so there's a few of those things lying around. Nobody really uses them that much. I mean, they're not anymore. But yeah, I have seen them.
Okay.
They're kind of cool.
Up next.
The instrument itself kind of looks Masonic when you're looking at it, which is weird.
Yeah, in a way. I've seen pictures, not in real life. This is sorry for using the question box to answer this. Oh, it just appeared. Sorry for using the question box to answer this. I don't believe any footage from the Antarctic can be real because only the government is allowed there and film a 24-hour footage. Don't believe too good to be true moments because they control everything.
Agreed. Why not?
Some are saying, though, that the maps that we have, the AE map and others aren't right. And of course, they're not right. No one really knows the shape of where we live. And that the whole ice wall thing's not even right. That the map that we just try to show people, the ones in my flat earth clocks that I haven't hung up over my shoulder here, that those aren't correct. There is no ice wall. That you can go to Antarctica. You can't fuel there or get rid of your garbage there. But you can go. And this is all a myth created by the leading flat earthers to throw us off the trail of the truth.
So the Antarctic Treaty isn't real? That doesn't...
well, the treaty itself, I've read it. It doesn't actually say you cannot go there.
Well, it says
but it does say you can't go there. Yeah, can't go,
You can't take your... Right. I mean, again, this is the part that I stressed in the clue, which was, look, if I'm an oil company, if I represent an oil company, I have almost unlimited funds to lobby anywhere I want. If I want to get into a national park, it's only a matter of time. If I want to start fracking in your backyard, it's only a matter of time. You're telling me that when there's nothing to stop me down in Antarctica, nothing, no indigenous plant life to knock over, no animal life to run over, no ruins, no weird historical thing. It's just ice and snow. You're telling me no matter how much money I bribe, I can't get in there as an oil company. And on top of that, I can't even talk about it. I can't even lobby, go to like the New York Times and run a series of articles saying how it'd be great for Mark's Oil Company to get to Antarctica, why it'd be good for America. I could spin this thing 6 ways from Sunday. And that is not seen anywhere. Do you know anything, again, that's any conspiracy anywhere that's beyond money? And that's so I'm still backing this. No, saying that, of course, people can, yes, you can go online, you can file a flight plan, you can spend, what is it, $15,000, $13,000, something like that, to go down to Antarctica, the peninsula mostly, have your picture taken with a few penguins, walk around, and usually it's in boats, it's usually not on the plane, and if you're real lucky, they will fly you to a place that they claim to be the South Pole. But that's really it. Other than that, there's an invisible line out there, and you are being watched every step of the way. If corporations can't get in, it's a safe bet that no matter any particular group is going to be monitored very, very closely. Also, look up the Antarctic Defense Force. Why does that even exist? Sorry, it's my little rant. I go on.
Rant on, Mark. Rant on.
Sorry. It just ticks me off when people say, "No, you can go to Antarctica." You might as well tell me, "Oh no, I can see the curve from the window of my airplane when I'm flying a domestic flight." It's like, no, you can't. Or again, you know, oh, no, there's a nonstop flight. It's Santiago, Chile to Auckland, New Zealand, Qantas Flight 64. Really, show me the GPS data on that. Show me the route. Show me the full-blown latitude and longitude of where it starts, where it goes, and every place in between. It ain't there.
All right, up next here in Q&A on Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes, our holiday edition of The Secret Show.
Holiday edition.
From Flat Earth Head. Hi guys, love the show. I'm working on a video showing the impossibility of the geocentric moon phases. Also trying to coordinate a multi-location recording of moon angles and phases. So far have Oregon, Alaska, Louisiana, and Arizona involved. Any help? Probably we need to get Flat Earth Head to put his or her email address up, and then we can do a sort of calling all forces to go to that.
Send the moon phases for wherever you are. Send the location and the picture of the moon phases, date and time, the exact time.
If you want to help Flat Earth Head out, keep listening. I'm going to ask Flat Earth Head to shoot their email address over if he or she wants to do that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's a guy naming themselves Flat Earth Head. Maybe. All right. Next up. Oh, wait a minute.
Send more flattering things to Patricia too, so that she can't read it online. Use the word throbbing a lot.
Ooh, please don't. What? Wait, what?
What? That was innocent. I wasn't swearing.
You're right. Somebody asks, were the ice ages fake?
Were the ice age is fake? Ice wall?
No, ice age. The ice age.
Oh, is the ice age fake? No, not necessarily. I mean, it's still within the circle that we're on. I mean, you can do all sorts of fun climate stuff. You can make it really hot. You make it really cold. If somebody, you know, no, I don't think it's fake. I think it's real. Now, is it still cover the dates that they advertise? You know, the X thousands of years BC to X thousands of years. Maybe. I questioned all aspects of dating though at this point.
Yes, of course, definitely. Mark in League Key of Flat Earth British says, I can use a sextant. My father was a ship's captain and he showed me how. It's hard to get a bearing when the ship is rolling unless it's like a mill pond. You can't use them well in weather. How did the people on ships use them? I mean, those were rolling waves and
generally they don't. You have to wait till the seas calm down.
Okay, makes sense.
Well, if you're in high seas, the last thing you're doing is checking your, exactly where you are because you're really worried about other things, like, I don't know, tipping over.
Right. You know the guy who went to Antarctica, Andahoy?
Jarl
Andahoy. Mr. G writes, ask Jarl Andahoy if you could go to Antarctica. So
it's a good story. Look it up. It's people can find
it. True story.
Yeah, I think it's a true story.
Right.
I do. And then there was a German guy that supposedly walked across part of the ice, and when he got back, he was fined 30,000 euros because he didn't have the right permits. So, they were trying to make an example out of him, and it made some newspapers. So,
someone writes, I feel underdressed because of what we're wearing.
Well, yes, this is an authentic tweed jacket. And the
Harris tweed? Is that an authentic Christmas tree?
It is a Harris. Jacket? It is Harris tweed jacket.
Ah. How many points do I win for that?
That's excellent that you actually knew it was a Harris tweed jacket.
Yeah. Okay. Up next, here on Q&A. Sorry, it's sort of ticking. It's like slowing.
She's so unprofessional.
Stop it.
Unbelievable. Why am I carrying you through this show? Seriously.
Yes, on your back. All right. Wesley Stace says, hey, Patricia and Mark. Wesley Stace here from Flat Earth News Talk.
Hey,
just wanted to say,
Flat Earth News.
Fantastic talk with Stanton. I'm so glad you got Flat Earth out there to someone outside the Flat Earth. Way to go.
Thank you. Again, it was fun to do, and I hope there's more out there. to do. I just don't know how many astrophysicists are going to stick their neck out at this point. Because if they did any prep work at all, eventually you'd be like, yeah, I might do it. In fact, you'll know, because you may see an astrophysicist physicist or two do, say they're going to do it, and then a couple weeks out say, nah, I'm not going to do it. I got an illness in the family or something like that, just because there's some questions a scientist will not be able to answer.
Next question. I really like what you're doing. I'm completely convinced, but I can't watch any documentary on TV anymore.
Like
I feel the same way.
Like regular documentary? Oh, yeah, just normal documentary?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the History Channel?
I find it hard to, the History Channel with ancient aliens on it.
Yeah.
Why don't people just see that as being totally ridiculous?
I was a fan of Ancient Aliens, and I still think there's some neat accounts out there of weird things in the sky. And I've seen weird things in the sky with my stuff. But yeah, you got to question everything that history tells you, especially a channel called History, which if you look at their logo, it's a pyramid turned on its side with capstone detached, slightly detached, and that's pure Masonic, which means the Masons own the History Channel, and they're not shy about telling people, which is interesting.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
It's true.
I don't watch it, but it make sense. Yeah. We have Ravenlocks, who I know from Facebook, and she is with her entire family in Guam. So she says, "Good day from Guam, Patricia and Mark. Wanted to throw this to you. From U.S. to Hawaii to Guam in reverse, because we are considered domestic flights. No food is served on the flights. She thinks maybe to discourage travelers to fly the long route." It's interesting. Never thought about that.
Really? That's interesting. Have they always done it that way? No food on that route?
I don't know if she's ever been there before, but I would think probably so.
I've never heard that. We have a lot of people in Guam. That's a big military thing for us.
I wonder if Ravenlocks' family has military connections, and that's why she's there for the holidays. We will find out. I'm sure she'll message back.
Sorry, I keep thinking of that name, Ravenlocks, and like a band announcement. This Saturday at the Coliseum, Ravenlocks.
Ravenlocks rocks.
It's a great name for a band. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is. John A. says, as far as the art belt thing, he'd retired and come back several times in the past, but after a bit of poking around, it seems like he's a Freemason. Maybe that's the reason for the dropouts on the debates. Interesting, John.
Maybe.
Ravenlocks comes back and says, no, they started this year with the no food thing.
Could be just budgetary cutbacks. The airlines are doing so many weird things to try to make money because they're just getting creamed out there. But you never know. That's not bad. I mean, I'm not going to discount it. Sure. Seeing weirder things out there.
This is a question about something I don't know anything about at all. So I hope you do. Otherwise, it'll just be a question hanging in the air.
How to serve prime rib?
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. That's not true. Actually, when I was before vegan, yes, of course. At the carving station, there was some guy carving it for you. Right?
Oh, God. I'm sorry. The servant's carving you the prime rib?
No, prime rib generally is like a holiday thing, and it's served at like an event or a banquet, or like if there's like a holiday dinner at a restaurant, and they have a guy at a carving station, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the carving station that's inside the Steere home.
Carving fruits and vegetables.
We used to have Anthony carve our meat.
Till he cut off his arm. However, my husband didn't know it was Stanley's arm. And he said it was too rare.
But now we have Jeeves doing it for us. And he's quite adequate.
He's already lost an arm in the war. No problem with him accidentally cutting it off.
And he steals far less than our other servants. Anyway.
What just happened?
I don't know. We were going off script. That's what we were doing.
I think so. Criticizing Bush for doing it, and then we do it. Okay. Next
question.
J.R. Woods. My eyes are. It's hard to see enough without. J.R. Woods. J.R. Wood says you both should hook up. So
Really, that's the comment?
that's the comment. Okay, but glasses back on. I wish I didn't have to. I'm going to try without. I can kind of see. It's just a close vision.
Thank you. Add a couple throbbings to that sentence, and you get a winner.
Okay. I don't want to squint. Nah, I can't do it. Hold on. Glasses back on. Don't make me laugh again.
I'm not going to.
Don't make me laugh till I cry again. All right, J.R. Wood's Edge. We both should hook up. We'll work on that for 2016, right, Mark?
Yep.
All right.
Also add the word undulating. That's a fun word.
Undulating, throbbing hookup. It's gross. I hate the term hookup.
How is that gross?
I don't know.
How is that gross?
It sounds like a heart cut out of a
like
body.
It's like it's unsanitary in some way?
No.
So what's sex for you? Being wrapped like in saran wrap? Is that what it is? Go down to Costco, get a big roll, and then just, a lot of squeaky.
You know way too much about that.
No. All right, let's get to some serious questions. All right.
Paul says it's scary that we don't have to fear anything anymore if everything is artificial and the ones in control won't destroy themselves.
Oh, they still may try.
Well, they won't want to destroy themselves. They accidentally could, because they're somewhat not good at faking some of the things they do. They could have an error.
Yeah, but at the highest level, they've got to make their moves that the population is going to respond to. So whatever they're, I still think part of this is under their control, that they know, what's happening right now. They have a contingency plan for it because they've had so much time to prepare. 60 years roughly. So, don't sell them short. Don't sell them short. They still have moves to make.
All right. Keith OB says Jimmy Church, cool. That's
Oh yeah, Jimmy Church. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Should be fun. I hope it'll be cool. We'll see.
Here's the question before we started going off on people cutting their arms off while at a carving station. That could actually never happen if we planned it. Where did that come from? Calvo on Red Pill says, my question for Mark, did he look into the ALMA project down in Chile? And that's the one I thought you wouldn't know the answer to, because I don't.
The ALMA project?
I don't even know what it is.
Is that the new radio telescope thing? I don't have a computer in front of me. It's currently on fire behind me. I haven't looked into it, but I will. The ALMA project.
Okay. Maybe somebody will tell us more. Tell us more
about that, please.
Next is half the chemtrails are to hide that the airlines have been using jet engines that run off water and leave the same type of trails. You know what? I've heard that, read about that. That's a very interesting conspiracy.
Cool.
I mean, just imagine if we could run things off water, how things would completely change, the oil and gas industry. And if that is true and that's happening, are the airlines still charging are still putting in their budget the purchase of fuel? Stealing money, that kind of thing.
Good point.
And that is the telescope that you just mentioned.
The radio
ALMA.
telescope.
You are correct.
Yeah. Well, some more radio telescope operators that might disappear soon. Again, want to have fun, look up how the radio telescope operators that have died in the last 20 years. Why? Well, because maybe some of them figured out they were looking at a ceiling. Just a thought, though.
Here's another thought from Secrets of Gods. Can we debate not proving the Matrix? And are you familiar with the angel Raziel? You're right. Earth is flat and under a dome. That's how rainbows are made. You're also inside a box that projects reality, a circle inside a box.
Yeah.
Sounds right up your alley.
The
statement.
Yeah, the last one I think is, it may or may not be based off of Rob Skiba's three-dimensional. You remember that 3D box he drew with a dome structure inside it? He's got it on, I think he's definitely got some videos on YouTube, but it's also on testingtheglobe.com. As far as the angel Raziel, is that which one?
Raziel.
No, not by name. Is that in the Testament of Solomon, or is that mentioned somewhere else? Somebody give me some details on Raziel. So no, okay. I do not know Raziel.
But interesting concept. I mean, if you look biblically, we've got the circle of the earth inscribed on a square or in a square, and then the four corners of the earth and the angels at the four corners. So
Yeah,
the circle in the square, I mean, it's biblical. That doesn't prove anything to many, but to
yeah,
some it does. Something to think about, something to
yeah.
consider. Very cool.
Raziel. Oh, right. He owes me like $17. Guy's terrible with money. Anyway, go on.
Um, Martin says 2016, the year of the flat earthers. God bless all. Mark, you may be asked tomorrow, Jimmy Church, why commercial flights can't fly over polar regions.
So they can fly over the northern parts, although do they get to fly directly over the North Pole? You know, the part of the map that's absolutely dead center north? I don't know. The South, they haven't been able to do it officially since the 70s, supposedly since some crash in the mountains. And now they never do it. And if you look up online, something to the effect say, oh, it's too cold. You can't fly over the,
Right.
it's like, wait, cold has nothing to do with it when you're 40,000 feet up. Because when you get 40,000 feet up, it's already really, really cold. In fact, it's really, really cold no matter where you go 40,000 feet up.
Yeah, you just touch the window in the airplane when you're flying and it's cold.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what he brings up. I mean, he'll probably have some good points. I hope he, just has an open mind.
and Martin, who asked the question, did say, ask Jimmy Church tomorrow why commercial flights can't fly over polar regions when they obviously can. I forgot to add that part to it, but you knew.
Yeah.
You knew that.
Or
You knew that.
why has there never been a north to south ship expedition? That we've heard about ships going around the world of the equator. Why haven't they ever gone north to south? I know the equator's warmer and it's somewhat easier, but you have to cover a lot more mileage to do it because you either got to go through the Panama Canal or you got to go around the Horn. But anyway, next thing.
All right. Eric Blair says the Globers are having a field day throwing out the satellite pictures. Himawari 8 satellite
Yeah,
pictures.
the
Supposedly
Himawari, the
22K miles
geostationary.
out.
Yep. I've seen this thing.
Taking like 144 pictures a day.
Yep.
And composite images, obviously, as Eric says.
Well, okay. Well, here's the thing, and which is why I still come back. It is not a picture of the Earth. It is not a movie of the Earth rotating on its axis. It is, even in their own description, a strictly geostationary. So it's only showing one part of the Earth at all times, and you're seeing sun go over it, and then dark, light, then darkness, light, and darkness, and the weather is morphing, but it's not doing anything. It's not rotating on its axis. It's axis. So it's not a true representation. Why are there no movies of the Earth rotating from a distance? Like what they initially portrayed with the Galileo program in 1990, but then disavowed later. So no, the field day, no, that Japanese satellite. And by the way, why did that Japanese satellite only come online? I think it was just this year. I don't think that was an accident. It's like, oh, we got to show something. So what's the easiest way they could do it? Let's do something, simulate something geostationary. Why not the Americans? Why does it have to be Japanese on top of it? No,
they're not having. They want to show that people all over the globe who are in space are doing this great research, and it's not just NASA faking it.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's other countries. No one's faking it. We're all, they're all different countries taking pictures of our earthly home, the round Earth.
Yeah,
that's probably why.
That satellite is a piece of crap. Why didn't that satellite? In fact, anything that comes out this year, I'm suspect of anyway, because why wasn't it out last year? Why did the new blue marble shot come out in July of this year? With the moon transiting in front? In fact, remember that shot that came out 2 or 3 days ago? That crystal clear shot of Africa from the moon. It's like, oh yeah, we've had a probe up there since 2009. Here's a shot of the Earth. Why haven't you been sending these pictures back for 8 years?
They're dancing to our tune. They are paying attention to flat Earth.
Yes, they are. And plus, they also admitted it was a composite, and it was horrible footage. It was like they took the JAXA footage and just had somebody freaking Photoshop in a new blue marble shot.
And the way the moon looked, did you see how it looked? It looked smooth and wavy. It looked like some kind of weird cake frosting, like lumps. Might even have been that, actually.
It could have been cake frosting. Do not replay this. The moon is not made out of cake frosting.
No, but you know what I'm saying? These images.
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding you. I don't know if you remember watching the entire JAXA footage that they released, all 20-something minutes of it, but it was horrible. It looked really, really simulated. You know, not even 3D modeling. It looked like physical. Just it's awful. So no,
You know, some people have said though that we think all these things look fake because we're so used to real images, no, fake images, Hollywood images.
Yeah.
And our eyes are accustomed to the way that looks. And so if things don't look like those space things we see in movies, then we think it's fake.
Yeah.
The real thing looks different. And that's why we call it fake.
Oh, and by the way, if the that Japanese satellite that is supposedly taking the movies of the Earth, if that's so great, then why did NASA decide not to use that footage, which apparently was way higher resolution, and use the blue marble shot from a different probe that was 1 million miles away? You know, why not use the Japanese stuff there since it was so easy to get? There's, again, inconsistencies all over the place.
Up next, from 2040. Reason why Mr. Stanton Friedman used so many distinct separations between various NASA projects is because they're separated on all levels. Indeed, every project is totally separated, from people to planning to execution and to finances.
Yeah.
Makes sense why they would be.
Yeah, again, even the people that are, they're lying, but they don't know why they're lying. So when I say, oh, NASA employees are liars, no. There are people that are faking things. And yeah, you could call them liars because we'll call out the International Space Station. Yeah, that footage is completely faked, the interior shots of that. But they don't know why they're lying. And if you don't know why, then it's kind of blissfully ignorant because you don't know the bigger picture, which is why they can be all happy running around in their khakis and their polo shirts and their socks. And by the way, why socks?
I was thinking that the other day when Tim Peake was filmed doing a somersault, and then sort of gravity kicked in when he got to the bottom of the somersault, and it jolted very weirdly. Maybe you've seen the video, and his socks were all white. Yeah. So the socks, occasionally their feet touch the ground, right? When they're bobbing up and down. Yeah. The socks are always pristine and white. That's another thing. Is the space station that like white glove clean where there wouldn't be some dirt or dust or something somewhere where their foot touches at any moment? Yeah, socks so they don't kick each other. Is that the reason?
Well, why aren't they wearing shoes? Whenever, you could wear comfortable shoes, but no shoes ever? You think you get... it doesn't. I mean, I know that it's like, oh, we wear socks, wear shoes when we're exercising and all that other crap. Don't get me started with the ISS. It's horrible.
I always thought it because they could kick things and kick each other with shoes. Kick somebody with a foot. Try martial arts, with a foot.
Let's use the British thing. Let me go off on a rant for like 60 seconds, and that is the
rants.
Fine, a discussion.
Okay.
60 seconds, and the British guy, the first British guy to go up to the ISS. Remember, the British people have never. That's another dancing to our tune. Remember, I said the British people completely stayed out of the space race. Oh, look at this! December of this year, we're going to put a British guy on the ISS. Go figure. And he gets there. There's like 3 people waiting for him. Inside. You saw that. Where he came in. He entered, and he comes in. He's wearing a polo shirt, khakis, and socks. Like there's a dress code. And it's like, what? He's not wearing a spacesuit? You've got pressure differences, right? You got air pressure differences, between one and the other. Are they looking on the panel to making sure the pressure differences are equalized? Because if you try to open that thing, right? If the pressure is different too much on his side, that hatch is going to fly open and he's going to fly in with it, right? If it's too weak, you're not going to be able to open the hatch. But they opened the hatch perfectly fine. It wasn't an automated hatch. It's like, oh yeah, look here, there's Fred. He's from England. Nobody even questioned the technical difficulties behind it. Not to mention, the fact that the whole docking procedure that was completely fuzzed out. That never even happened. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, here he comes. Now he's docked. All that footage, the cool footage that everyone wants to see, they didn't even show that. But then when
you couldn't see it and you couldn't hear it.
Yeah, you couldn't see it, couldn't hear it. And when he finally gets in there, I'm going, what? Because he's not going to wear a spacesuit when you're going from a brand new capsule into the space station. It's like, oh, no, I'm going to take off my shoes, too. Just going to go in. He wasn't wearing a suit the entire time. Or if he was, he just decided to take it off. Why did he need 3 guys in that little compartment?
And at one point, the astronaut from Houston, Mark Kelly, there's twin brothers, Mark and Scott, and I always get them confused, their names. He was taking pictures and took a selfie of himself with a camera with a longer lens. Now, I'm not a camera expert. I don't know what level telephoto, but it was quite long of a lens. And he was pointing at himself and taking a picture, and then of course pointing it everywhere except for the fourth wall.
Yeah. Well, no, he did take a picture of the camera that was taking a video of him. That's the picture I want to see. You know, that's
right, but we didn't get to see that picture.
No, we didn't get to see that.
Oh, you know what? Maybe they will show it after they do something to it.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, by the way, somebody told me that I need to show my fourth wall. That sounds weirdly sexual.
Oh, you mean spin the well, your fourth wall is actually where your real wall is.
Right.
You could spin your laptop around, but it's just a wall.
It's all plugged in. I'll do it real. I hope I don't knock anything over or knock us off.
Here we go. This is when the transmission goes badly.
I don't know if I'm able to do it, actually.
All right. Have you gotten a lot of questions? No, I've seen her spin this thing around and walk around and showing me everything, including her guitar. It's all there.
I believe you.
Well, how many people do you get? If you have one person saying, why don't you show the fourth wall?
My gosh. Somebody went on my Facebook, and there's an old photo of me from when I was in my 30s when I had really long hair. And people were commenting on it, like thumbs up or, oh, you looked pretty or whatever. And someone's like, I called the station in Napa and they said you never worked there. And I'm like, that was in 1991. I mean, different owners, and how are they going to know? Back then, employee files were kept, written in pen in a metal filing cabinet in a paper file. I mean, I didn't have a computer then. And they're challenging me on everything. And they're like, show the fourth wall in your room and all this. And I'm like, oh. So I actually sent them photos that I took with my camera and posted it on my Facebook.
They want video now.
Yeah, they want video now. But I don't really know if I'm going to do it because I've got people are going to say, oh, she's making excuses. Well, why would I even bring it up?
You know how you could do it without doing anything weird? If you have a mirror, you could hold it up to the camera.
Oh, that's a good idea. I will go get a mirror. That is perfect. Because I've got my...
All right. I will cover. I will try to fill in the gaps with not awkward silence.
But we were talking about, the camera. He was taking selfies, the Kelly guy, the astronaut. And why would anybody bring such a huge camera? I guess it's probably being used to take pictures.
I'm going to go. Go ahead. I'm going to go over the reasons of why the ISS is just a pain in the ass.
I don't know how this. Do you think wait a minute. Is the mirror going to work?
The mirror should work. You put a mirror up to the camera, it will show what's behind you. What's behind the laptop.
All right. Good.
Okay.
Back in a minute.
Okay.
The things I do for people who don't like me.
Oh, God. Meanwhile, Mark is going to reveal all of Patricia's secrets, including the agency she works for. No, that's not true.
I heard that.
No, it's not true. Yes, it is. It's very true. She probably works for the NSA. I can't prove it yet. No, that's not true. Okay, so the things that bug me about the ISS. If you want to ask it, people say, well, no, the ISS is real. It's like, okay, there's a few things you could look at, and then I'm going to point you at a video or two as well. First thing, 2 words, hairspray. Watch the videos of the women, not necessarily the men, but of the women, the videos that have been taken over the last year. All their hair has been permed, and it doesn't make any sense. A woman's hair in zero gravity, not that much different than being underwater, is going to move back and forth in relation to their head. So the reason why they permed the hair was that if, there's a sudden, because remember, they're not actually in a space station, they're in an airplane. So if you're in an airplane and there's a shift, the shift of gravity that Matt Boylan would talk about every once in a while, a woman's head is going to be more obvious in showing that than other things, because her head's going to move to the left or the right, and her hair is going to follow. And people will notice, it's like, why did she move to the left like that? And they're only going to notice that because of their hair. So, but what doesn't make any sense is why they didn't do the other things to make it less obvious. Like, for example, I don't know, put a NASA hat on them so their hair doesn't show at all, or pull it back so that their hair is just in a ponytail, and then combine that with a hat, it'd be a piece of cake. Or
a short haircut. How about that?
Or a short haircut, which they ended up doing just this year with one of the European, I think the Italian woman. The permed hair thing just drives me insane, because it's so easy to spot but if, again, the average person isn't going to see it, they're going to say, oh, look, her hair's up in the air, like the Bride of Frankenstein, she must be in zero gravity. They don't make the connection that no, hair normal in zero gravity isn't supposed to act like that. And so now they use the woman with short hair for those shots. So are you back?
I'm back. Yes, I had to turn my camera off for a moment.
Okay. Do you want me to keep talking?
Okay. No, I'm good. I've got my mirror. So
I keep talking.
Wait,
I might get repetitive though. I might get redundant.
Okay, wait.
I might be
I need
repeating
to.
myself.
Okay,
I might be saying the same thing over and over.
Stop! I'm trying to do this for people. Okay, here's my mirror. It's not a trick mirror. Oops, I'm blinding people. There's my mirror. That's what it looks like. So it's
This fire is hot.
Mirror.
burning my shoulder.
All right, now how this one? Okay, there's me. You can see. There's me. There's like my DVDs I'm going to show later for Christmas. There is my. Well, that doesn't do anything. There's the other room. You can see my living room. I mean, it's kind of like the kitchen, but the lights are off.
There's the director. There's the studio assistant.
Stop. That's what people are accusing me of. Okay, right here is a picture of my dad. It's in front of me, as you can see, behind the computer, which is a MacBook Pro, which you can see it right here. There's my MacBook Pro. There's my screen. Here's my hand with my ring. There's my lap. There's my computer. There's what I see. And there's the questions from Q&A right there.
It's a family show. We're not supposed to be, you know.
Okay, then I'm going to show like the wall. Okay, there's pictures of my dad. There's a clock. There's those DVDs that you can see. There's that picture there. And there's the picture of my dad in radio. And then we go to a light, which is blinding right there. Light switch, side of a wall. And are you satisfied, people? Okay. I don't mean people who are cool with me. I just mean people who say that this isn't real. I'm not real. And this is a stage set and there's people filming this. It's not that professional. It would be way better if somebody were doing all that.
Got it.
Okay. What are you looking at?
Well, I'm just sorry. I'm reading this. So I just said it's not that professional. What more do you want, people? All right. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out where I'm coming in. All right. She gets rid of mirror, and it's like, oh,
is there anything else I can do with this mirror? By the way, while I'm here,
sorry.
What else do I need? Is there anything else I could show with the mirror while I'm here? Have I done enough?
Have I shown enough? You're going off script.
I think there's nothing else I can show.
Okay. So now we're supposed to
read more questions.
Read more questions. Okay, got it. Not suspicious
all right, up next,
at all.
Chris
I tell you,
S.
this was a Harris tweed jacket. And this pin is old.
Is it your mom's?
I think it is my mom's.
I think a lot of women in the 50s would wear pins like that.
Yeah.
Holiday pins. Yeah. People don't do that much anymore.
And the jewels are actually tears from angels. Yep.
I thought they were the tears you cried.
Why am I doing flat Earth this year? I wanted to be assigned to Guantanamo.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Like you weren't thinking the same thing.
No idea. No idea.
No idea what I'm talking about.
Nope. Chris S. writes, I believe the Bible says there was light before the sun was created. I wonder, maybe the stars are holes in the firmament where said light passes through.
Yeah, I've heard that before too, and that's really, really cool. I totally dig that. That'd be really, really fun if that was the case.
This is really good. And I want to thank somebody for writing this. J.R. Woods says, don't worry about people. It's true. You can't please people who are going to criticize and troll and tell you you're not real. You really, in the end, can't. Because no matter what you do to prove yourself, they're still going to say things.
A wise young woman once said, haters gonna hate, 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 hate.
Haters gonna hate and potatoes gonna potate. That's what I've got to say.
Yeah, don't save that for
No, not so good. Robin Poe writes, there's no shoes on the ISS. It's to prevent marking up the green screen.
Oh, that's funny. That's
totally
good.
True. She put out a really good video about the ISS being a spy plane. It's out now. So Robin Poe,
the old U-2 spy plane with those giant wings. Could you do a modified version of that? Yeah, you probably could.
Video. I think she just did it last night.
Wakey Wakey and I'm sorry, Mark Knight and oh crap, what's the other guy's name?
Ben. Matrix Decode.
Matrix Decode. They were both sighted on the ISS, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, with Monkey. So
with
Flat
Monkey.
Earth Rebel Outpost. Go check that video out. It's good.
And people say, well, no, that's a CGI image. That's not real. It's like, really? What's the difference? Just because more money was spent on one and not on the other?
It was really convincing. In fact,
it was. I was completely fooled.
Yeah, me too. I think there's a monkey on the ISS right now.
Yes.
Could be.
There's several monkeys, in my opinion.
on a fake ISS.
Yeah.
Let's see. Somebody else writes, F people, who cares? Do your thing. I agree with that.
Word to Big Bird.
All right.
There's only so much professionalism you can throw into this, because I am not necessarily plucky comic relief, but I can hold my own.
You're very plucky.
Plucky? No. And by that, I mean like Guy on Galaxy Quest, a movie which you probably own and have never watched.
I don't know if I've got Galaxy Quest.
Should
I? Is it good?
Is it good? It was, okay, one, it was from the greatest year in movies, 1999. Anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, look up 1999, all the movies that were made that year. It was the peak of movie media that year, and Galaxy Quest was one of them. So, yes.
Okay. Keith writes, there's an oil that comes off all of us, hands and feet. There should be that oil all over the most used parts of the so-called space station. It attracts dirt. How old is that space station now, and who does the cleaning? Yeah, I mean, I think the same thing. You never see the day-to-day, what they're doing.
These guys, and I will quote, I will shamelessly promote the guy that I interviewed. I'm not going to give out his name. The industrial engineer came on did one of my Strange World shows where he said, look, the ISS, how it is presented to us is not possible from an engineering standpoint because of all the maintenance that would have to be done on a regular basis, including because you'd have to treat it no different than a jet airplane. You would have to do a major overhaul every X number of years. And how are you going to do an overhaul on a major space station like that, where you have to strip it down and look at every little component? These guys aren't working on anything, ever. Do you ever see these guys turning a wrench? It's unbelievable. The valves and seals at the very least, not to mention the oxygen scrubbers, the atmosphere pressurizer. There's two. You've
with a plane, they replace parts on a schedule.
Yeah, it's based on it's based on schedule. It's
the
not
whole
on
plane's almost rebuilt, all the little parts.
Yeah, planes aren't like automobiles where you can wait for a part to wear out. With planes, you don't take that chance because there's people in them, and if something breaks up in the sky, well, you're screwed. So what they do is they base it on a time schedule to where a part gets replaced regardless of what it looks like. It could look brand new, but if it's been however many months it's been, they swap out the part. What are they doing on the space station? They should have mountains of parts going up there at all times. They do not.
True. Mountains of parts going up there and mountains of parts coming down as well that were bad, the bad ones. Yeah. So Jordan Rains writes, John B. Wells thinks it's ridiculous that grown adults are questioning the flat earth, something he says was, quote, put to rest 1,700 years ago.
Why 1,700 years ago? Copernicus thing didn't even happen until 500 years ago.
Yeah.
And you could not, so I'll use the clues thing here, you could not even prove it photographically until 1957. So how did you know for sure? I mean, yeah, you were 99.9% sure mathematically, but until you actually took the picture, what did you really know? You didn't know anything. And John B. Wells, yeah, he's one of the, and again, there's going to be, I'm actually surprised there aren't more guys like John B. Wells. He's going to be dragged kicking and screaming into this thing, because he just won't. He's just totally, there's some people that will not get past the first stage of denial, and he's one of them. He just will. It doesn't matter how many people write him, he is not going along with this thing.
Stanton Friedman is probably the same in that it's quite going to be, he's not going to become a flat earther because his whole livelihood and career and everything he's ever done depends on believing what he believes. However, he's been really great in the way he's acted and what he said, where John B. Wells basically just makes fun and belittles. Yeah. And, not good, really. Yeah, maybe someone would say I'm belittling him now. I'm not. I'm just stating what happened.
Look, he's in the severe minority now. Art Bell was going to cover it, so I'm going to claim that until his show is canceled, that he actually was going to cover it. Who are the other two people that have not actually done a show on it? Alex Jones, who I know for a fact their producers have been trying to broach the subject, and Joe Rogan, who has mentioned it on 3 different shows, and every time he says, I'm not doing a show about flat earth. And why do you keep bringing it up if you're not going to do a show on it? It's almost like you're testing the waters, with enough people say, yeah, why don't you do a show on flat earth? Then he'll go the other way, but maybe he's stubborn as well. Who knows?
I tweeted him when he first started talking about flat earth. Not that he's going to read my tweet, but maybe just
you dated
him. No. tweeted him.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you
Ooh,
dated him.
dated him. No.
Oh, okay, just check.
And if I did, he'd be a flat earther now. So
Really?
I have that power.
'Cause it's called sex. I don't think it's really a power, but that's okay. You don't want to. That's
No,
fine.
no,
You want to use
no
that
thanks.
as a
But
weapon.
no,
Flat
I
Earth
did
movement.
tweet him and said, look into the flat Earth. Just figured one of many people who would tweet him so that he would actually talk about it on his show.
I think secretly, you and I have talked about this. I think secretly he knows and he's looked at it, but like a lot of other people, he's afraid of what his viewers may do. There's this real fear because they read the comments. And it gets really hot, in the comments where people are just going. It's like a street fight, and as a moderator, you don't want to get in the middle of it. It's like you've got X number of hundreds of thousands of viewers, and you don't want to put your neck on the line. What if you're wrong? What if your audience turns on you? That's one of the biggest fears of anybody in the media industry. So,
Yes. AE writes, Mark, have you ever theorized that the Earth herself is much larger than we are told? Also, if we're on the bottom of an ocean somewhere on some other plane or planet with a dome covering it, a barrier, pressure above holds the dome down, high tech.
yes, and yes. Yes, of course, because people have a really hard time thinking about an infinite plane anyway. Because sooner or later, if there's a beginning to anything, there's also got to be an end. So could this be a much, much larger planet and that we're on, and that the flat part that we on stretches hundreds of thousands or millions of miles? Yeah, very, very possible. Could we also be the same thing underwater? Look at Rob Skiba's model. What he was saying was that we were in some sort of giant square room, kind of like a cake box, and then there was a dome inside it, but outside of that dome was water. Because honestly, if you want to make an ultimate safeguard to make sure whatever your little critters were, being us, in the inside of this thing, what's the bigger safeguard than water? So that even if they do find a way to crack this thing and try to get out on their own, if they try to do it without authorization, well, in comes the water, and that ends that. So,
it's like Alcatraz. Yeah. If they ever were able to break out of the prison, there's all that water to
exactly navigate. Only this is more like a booby trap than anything else, which of course is why men, when they first found out, oh, let's shoot atomic weapons at it. What's the worst that could happen? But the same thing goes with the actual the first nuclear test down in was that New Mexico, where the one physicist was working out the math. Of course he was wrong. It says this could light the atmosphere and burn off and kill basically everybody at once. And they said, yeah, but who's going to yell at us? So
wow.
Yeah, I know. Roll those dice.
No biggie.
Civilization be damned. Literally.
Wes writes, I live in the Midwest in Minnesota, and we all were taught that the Mississippi River flows north to south. How can that be if the Earth is flat?
Why would it change if it was flat?
I don't get that question myself either.
It doesn't make any difference. If it's not, you still have mountains which are above sea level. And there are bumps on this thing. We obviously know that there's mountains and valleys and stuff like that. So no, rivers aren't going to change on a flat model.
All right. Chevs
not that much anyway. Sorry, go ahead.
Chevs, CHEVS 911 Truth writes, and I'm going to mispronounce the following, but bear with me.
It's pronounced throbbing.
Jeez. The Zaguian Aqueduct, spelled Zaghouan, is 92.5 kilometers. That's 57.5 miles in length. It was built in the 2nd century. Wouldn't they have figured out there was something wrong with the
if it was round? Yeah. The
curvature.
That's one of the Roman aqueducts, isn't it? Yeah, you're absolutely right, because in the 2nd century, they may have had some concept of the globe. They wouldn't have been able to figure out that it would have affected their aqueducts. So how did you get an aqueduct to go that far without all of a sudden just stopping? With the water, just all of a sudden, it's like, hey, it won't go any further. Why not? Why is it backing up like that? They wouldn't have been able to figure that out. On a flat world, though, works great. Nobody, that goes along with the surveyor argument. The career land surveyor that I interviewed, that had done his work for 32 years, and he said that everything that they survey is they treat it like it's the world is absolutely a flat place. And he goes, even by accident, one flat plane. If it's a flat world, then yeah, flat planes line up to each other next like crackers, and they line up perfectly. But if it's a globe, eventually some of these things are going to get out of whack. And he goes, it never happened. Never even happened by accident, nor did he ever even hear of it happening by accident. So yeah, same thing, 2nd century. What applies then applies now.
You've talked about crackers and cake a moment ago and cookies originally. So are you hungry?
Yep, kind of hungry. I'm going to be eating after this. Yes. And there's cookies in front of me, but I don't want to like munch on camera because people say I eat like a cow. Well, it's why I'm not allowed to chew gum. And people say, well, you can't chew gum because your teeth. And I go, so no, because I sound like a cow that chews gum.
My mom was against me chewing gum when I was growing up. She said it wasn't ladylike. And I don't really like gum. Maybe because she put that into my head. I don't know.
Could be. And you have such wonderful teeth.
She had all these little rules. They weren't rules. They were just things she said it's better not to do, which is don't sleep on your side or on your face. Sleep on your back. It's better for your skin. And I'm like, oh, okay. And did. And I can only sleep on my back now.
Really?
So by she saying these things, whether or not they're true, it created me doing those things. So, interesting.
That is interesting.
All right. It has nothing to do with flat Earth, though.
No, it doesn't. And we don't talk about flat Earth that much.
Yeah, we never talk about flat Earth.
Never talk about flat Earth.
John of the Hackworth clan writes, the show is awesome. Your chemistry is very good. That being said, what is going on with Jonathan? Is he really going to drop Strange World? You two are such a good fit as a team on that show, on Truth Frequency.
I do not know what Jonathan's plans are. Believe it or not,
Jonathan makes these jokes, and if you don't watch the Strange World show on Truth Frequency Radio, TFR, he's been hinting somehow that he's either that he's stopping or quitting, or there won't be any more shows.
Yeah,
after 2015's over.
He's been very vague about what's been going on with him and the show, and I don't know. I don't know. He and I had never actually met in real life. We he's out in Jersey and I'm out here on the West Coast, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. So we'll see. If come January 1st, if he's not with me, then I'll figure out something to do. So no worries.
I know a certain somebody who'd like to be on a show with you on TFR.
Is he cute?
It's George Clooney.
It's not really George Clooney, is it?
It is. We're working on that for you.
So dreamy, I just get lost in his eyes.
All right. This question from deep inside the rabbit hole, DITRH on YouTube. Is anyone going to further discuss Flat Earth with Stanton? And if so, who? And when will it air?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes,
I've heard a rumor that deep inside the rabbit hole is going to be interviewing Stan, and it's going to air soon. Would you like to chime in on that, Patricia?
Yes, it's Truth is Stranger Than Lies, and it's on Talk Network. And David Weiss and I had you, Mark Sargent, on, and we recorded that today with Stanton Friedman. So there will be a continuation of your debate/conversation with Stanton with David Weiss and I. It's only an hour long. It's quite short. And that is going to air this coming week. This is December 21st. So if you're watching this at some other time, you just go to talknetwork.com and they have all the shows listed. So
it is a different discussion, by the way.
It is a different discussion. It's somewhat of a continuation. You were trying to hit on some of the points that you didn't get to, and it was good.
And he has not changed his mind as of right now.
And he was still a gentleman, and it was still a nice discussion. Yes. So, excuse me, it airs tonight. I didn't say it. I said this week. Sorry. It's tonight. It airs tonight. Yes.
He actually goes through the entire 1 hour discussion without using the word moon rocks.
Talknetwork.com. Go check it out. Stanton Friedman, Mark Sargent, a little bit of me, and David Weiss. So that's talknetwork.com.
Also find Patricia at adultfriendfinder.com.
Oh my God. You're going wild this time.
No.
I don't even know what Adult Friend Finder is.
That's okay.
I don't want to know. Somebody says LMAO George Clooney. All right.
Well, no. As far as favorite male actors of all time, he's probably been the most popular. Obviously, had a wonderful career. You know who my favorite male actor is, though? Not from a,
Not from a gaming standpoint.
not from a gaming standpoint. No, is Gary Oldman.
Oh yeah, Gary Oldman's great.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff, and I really good guy or bad guy. He plays great bad guys, but I've really, really enjoyed him over the years. He's just fun to watch. I watch him in just about anything. So, yeah.
Up next, we've got Flathead, and I've seen footage of a lake at the bottom of the ocean created by mussels having built up a mile-wide ringed wall, and the sub could not penetrate the dome created by that pressure and salinity difference.
Yeah. You've seen it too. It's they've aired it. It's a few years old. It's cool.
I've never seen this.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Everybody's seen it. Although you may not have, because you haven't seen Galaxy Quest, and that makes you weird. Yeah. It's interesting because here they are in a deep sea thing, and they get down to what appears to be a lake at the bottom of this ocean, and it's not a very big lake, but there's water down there, and you can't see through it, and they try to go through it, and they freaking bounce right off of it. Like
I've heard people talk about this. Yes, now that you're describing it, but I've never seen it.
It's eerie because when you're looking at it, it looks like you're in the air looking at a small pond. But in fact, I don't know why they can't get through it, but it's intriguing. And of course, you can't find out because you'd have to send somebody down with tools after the fact, and they just haven't done it, or maybe they have. It's interesting.
I'm looking at the screensaver over your shoulder while you were talking. And of course, I was listening to every word you were saying.
Of course you were.
And it looks like the fire is like catching one of those stockings on fire. Look, what? See? The third one from the left.
No, it's not. It's not on fire.
It's burning.
It's not burning. No, it's fine.
Like it. In real life, that thing would be gone.
No, it's...
Okay.
Look, the perspective isn't perfect on that, but it's not bad. I'm going to take it. Runs for 2 hours. So.
It's nice. Yeah. When it's done, we're done.
Yeah.
Which is coming up pretty soon.
Yes.
Not too soon. Not soon enough, right? Exactly. No, I love doing this. I look forward to this.
That's great. That makes one of us. So go ahead.
Wake the Sheeple says it's called The Lake Under the Ocean.
There you go. Lake Under the Ocean.
For those who haven't seen it, that's how to look it up. Thank you. Chris S. I'm going to start speeding up here. Chris S. writes, Flat Earth Clues. Mark talks of multiple revisions of the Earth. When you say this, we're not the first ones to rent this apartment.
Nope.
What is your basis for this idea? He's guessing the Bible, the Tower of Babel, for maybe one revision.
Oh, I mean, as far as versions, it's because of look at all the ancient civilizations we've had over the years. The sunken cities outside of down in the Indian Ocean, the pyramids. I don't think they're 5,000 years old. I think they're way older than that. The mystery of Atlantis. The different ruins. I will say this for the History Channel. They may not give you much to chew on, but they at least show the locations of all these weird ruins that have been dug up over the years. Lots of them seem to predate the 5,000 years that we have. So how many versions have we had? I don't know, quite a few. Who knows? Because in a shake and bake operation like this, once you're done with the civilization, all you have to do is shift some continents around and, mess the oceans up a little bit, and you can start over pretty quick.
Someone's made a meme of you, and that is Zach Hawkins, who says,
"That's great.
I made a meme for you," and maybe it's a meme of you. Who knows?
Super.
But I don't know where to share it. I only have a Google Plus account. Any suggestions?
Send it to Patricia.
To me? Okay. Miss Steere, MISSSTEERE @gmail.com. And you can send questions for next week's Monday show to that same address if you wish. Yeah. Miss Steere at, what did I say? I just spaced out.
Adultfriendfinder.com.
Miss Steere at gmail.com. Wow. Right. That was just weird. I just totally lost track of. Who are you anyway?
Look, you got to know your cover. Read your file. Seriously.
No, I just forgot. I have a personal email address too. So. Let's see.
Sorry.
You're looking at what was supposed to be said next.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Back to questions. Got it. Questions.
Got it. Yeah.
Got it.
Matthew writes, what do you make of John LeBon, JLB's new video of the Antarctic sun zigzag debunking? He's torn on which side to believe.
That just came out today, so I have not even had a chance to look at it. I've been tied up. I got drug into the Stanton thing this afternoon, and I had to get ready for the show. And I was doing the Christmas card thing, so I have not watched it yet. But I swear I will try. Have you watched it?
No, I will right after this.
Yeah.
I'm going to start ripping through questions now, and here's why. Somebody writes, it seems some participants in the Q&A are VIPs, so whenever they type anything, it gets put to the top and knocks other questions down further in the list, even if those questions have been there for 1.75 hours. You know, there's no way to make anybody VIP. It just scrolls on the thing, but there could be some kind of glitch in the system.
And Patricia has her favorites. Let's not miss words. No, it's okay. It's right, you know.
I'm just going to go down and see what I've got here.
And they pay her a nominal fee.
No. Oh, I see somebody's who hasn't been asked before. No, it's just how they show up for me. I don't know about anyone else. Alison Welch writes, the EU put the guy up from the UK, and the EU are in line to get the Nobel Peace Prize for the Coke ad in space. It's a joke. Happy Christmas.
That's a mixed message right there. Next, yeah, that's wonderful. Next one.
I didn't get it. I didn't understand it.
Well, because they might actually get the Nobel Peace Prize, right? Which is I don't even get into it. Look up even the origin of the Nobel Peace Prize and how that came about. I'll tell you about that off air. But it's a bunch of crap for something that didn't even happen. Ugh. Angry.
Okay, so if you want to watch listen to Truth is Stranger Than Lies with David Weiss and I, live or not live, the show we did today, where Mark Sargent and Stanton Friedman is a kind of a continuation of the debate on Truth Frequency Radio. It's 9 tonight to 9 p.m. 9 tonight and midnight Eastern. 9 p.m. PST, midnight Eastern tonight.
Okay. Go.
All right. Yarlin Zay writes, sorry, this is a confusing question. What I wanted to ask you both was, how do you see a creator fitting into Flat Earth? If we've been designed, what is our purpose?
The meaning of life. That's how you want to throw out this at the end of the show.
What is our purpose?
What is the meaning of life?
Wow. Well, it goes down to what your individual purpose is. Yeah. Some people say their purpose is to take care of their family and their loved ones. Other people's purpose is to have adventures. Other people's purpose is to help others.
I'm not going to
be good. Have fun. Enjoy life. Don't hurt anybody. Leave it better than you found it.
Then learn something along the way.
Yeah. Sounds good.
And for me, treat others better than you treat yourself.
Right. Someone says to check out Flatwater on YouTube. Of course, already have him on.
Yeah, he's already been interviewed on this show. Well, not the secret show.
Someone mentions we've drilled down 8 miles. Last I checked, this is true.
Yes.
Someone writes, Tinfoil Hatter writes, here's to Jimmy Church. Let's hear Under the Milky Way Tonight by The Church. Love that song, and I love that song too. Love it. Cool. I think it's even on my jukebox. It might be. In fact, next Monday, I'll play my jukebox behind me. If that song's there, I think it's in there. I put them all in there. I just forgot. There's 50 songs in there.
That's right. You can get the stage hand to load it up for you next week.
No, I loaded it all myself. I cleaned it myself. I hired somebody to repair it because in being transferred from Kalamazoo, Michigan, and my parents' home to Houston, Texas here, it got kind of, dented, and I don't know. I needed a professional to look at it. And I bought parts at his recommendation for it, new needle and other things.
Got it.
Picked out all the records on eBay, bought them, inserted them, had these labels made with the name of the record on it. So someone's asking for a link to the debate that you did with Stanton, and just go to a number of places, but your channel, Mark K. Sargent, you've got it loaded in 2 parts.
Just type in YouTube, Mark Sargent, Stanton Friedman. You'll find it. Chris Geo's loaded it up. Other people are starting to rip it and put it up, so you won't be able to miss it. You don't have to watch it online.
Lee Belt writes, if you can think it, you can make it, like a Japanese company, Genapax, presenting its eco-friendly car that runs on nothing but water. I'm surprised whoever created that wasn't just gunned down or poisoned in their sleep by somebody in the oil industry.
Yeah, that car's not going anywhere. As long as the oil industry exists, that car's not going anywhere. If anyone has any doubt of that, watch the documentary from a few years ago called Who Killed the Electric Car.
Yes, I've got that one.
And that was because the oil industry was nervous about even putting electric cars out there in any capacity. And yeah, so.
This is, has Mark seen the Bosnian pyramids?
Yes.
The powers that be really won't acknowledge, but they seem pretty conclusive.
Yeah, they do. Unfortunately, in the location that it's going to take a lot of excavation to reveal them. And it would be cool, of course. Yeah, if the Bosnian pyramids are real, and I think they are, it would just show again yet another civilization buried in history. And which shows we are not the first ones here, and we probably won't be the last.
Martin writes, Tim Peake is 100% a response to us in Flat Earth. Like Mark says, there's no such thing as a coincidence. And he also adds that Galaxy Quest rocks.
Galaxy Quest did rock. It was a great cast. The whole thing was just wonderful. It was basically a parody of Star Trek. Star Trek Galaxy Quest. Brilliant. From the actor's point of view. So you gotta watch it to understand it, but it's really, really good.
Here's a question from somebody new, JUISSIVIRE. Have you heard about I'm going to pronounce this last name wrong. Have you heard about that Andrew Basiago, Basiago, will become the new U.S. president? He claims to have teleported to Mars and seen humans living there, and he also has time traveled his whole life. I don't even know who that is.
He's going to be the new president of the United States?
Yes. He's just saying, have you heard about this?
No. And I'm an open-minded guy. I have to be for the Flat Earth thing. But yeah, that whole thing's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
So, sorry. He didn't teleport anywhere.
Stanton Friedman lives, according to Ridgeview, in Fredericton, New Brunswick. Because we were asking about that earlier.
Yep.
Tinfoil Hatter asks why LSC, the S stands for Stephen, is so afraid of the Flat Earth movement.
I don't know. He could get so much more exposure if he jumped on it. In fact, I was a little nervous when this whole thing started that he actually might jump on. I joked about it with Jonathan. I think even you. I said, look, if he wanted to do more damage to the Flat Earth, he'd just join it and just go off on his tangents. And he could... Honestly, he really could, because if you're going to call yourself Lord and be in Flat Earth, I mean, what a great thing for the mainstream to latch onto. But he never did. He kept sticking with the concave thing. Good for him. Love his conviction.
He sticks with what he believes in, and he's going to be doing the rectilineator approach. Rectilineator experiments in spring.
My only question, and I won't draw this out because I know we're running out of time, is that I'm just a little suspicious of a guy who was convicted and went to prison for threatening the president over the internet, and not an old president either, Obama. And then he gets out and he's allowed to run his own political blog and do all this stuff. I would think that once the Secret Service were done with you, you wouldn't be allowed anywhere near a computer. Maybe rules have changed over the years. I don't know. So I'm just a little leery of that. That's all.
All right. Next question. Chris S. says, I saw satellite maintenance in Jaren's video the other day. I did as well. And the secret is the astronauts wear fingerless gloves. Did you see that?
Yes, I saw it.
You could see,
where you can see
you can see your finger.
You can see your thumb, basically.
See your thumb, yes. That was
which you could get away with underwater, but not in a super negative degree vacuum of space. No.
Keith writes, Christmas Princess Patricia. I am not a princess.
She is a queen. Let's make no mistake about that. She is a Christmas queen, Christmas snow queen. We'll save the princess title for our friend up in Canada, Orphan Red.
Eric Blair writes, nice CGI, Patricia. And I don't know what that referred to. The mirror, maybe?
Man, if you could do CGI with a mirror like that, you know what that would cost? We don't have the budget for that. We're a backlot outfit. That's seriously. Chris
writes, word to the herd.
Peace and chicken grease.
Yeah. This is interesting. Matthew Eugene Rosa writes, enough of this flat earth mumbo jumbo. What do you guys think of Star Wars? I've not yet seen it.
I haven't seen it either, but the reviews I have said say it's disappointing from, not as disappointing as the Road Warrior thing that came out. But the thing is, since it's pass or fail on Rotten Tomatoes, it scored 95%. but the critics weren't as kind as they were, say, with Batman with Heath Ledger as the Joker, which scored through the freaking roof. But the reviews are very, very good. I mean, people read the reviews. Don't just look at the ratings. Look at the reviews and Rotten Tomatoes. They all say the same thing, and that is it rests too much on the old laurels. It seems that George Lucas had far too much producer input, and even though it was J.J. Abrams' ship, the company that runs it is still George Lucas, and he's a stubborn old codger.
John of the Hackworth clan writes, for Strange World, Mark, how about having a few equipment experts, sort of like the valve expert, like someone on air conditioning, to discuss how the ISS would be impossible to have working AC? That's really good.
Yeah, we're working on it. I'm screening as many emails as I can, as many phone calls as I can. In fact, I've gotten like 7 or 8 calls just since we've been doing this. And, I have to listen to every one of them just to see who's out there in that regards. So yes, thank you.
Right. And just to, make sure your crazy stalkers know where they are at all times.
Yeah. I'm right outside your door looking at you with night vision.
Super Deep Field writes, great video on the Masons, Mark. I really enjoyed that too, that Strange World episode live, which is now a video on Mark Sargent's channel.
Yeah.
Those in the highest degrees know the earth is flat. Who do they think the creator is? And do they have any sense of accountability to the creator?
I think they do, which is why I think a lot of the things that have been going on lately, as far as incidents, Sandy Hook, Boston bombing, and stuff like that, where no one appears to have died, I think that's part of the reason they haven't died. Because if at the highest level, can you actually murder someone, even if it's to, for what they call the greater good, to try to control the population? I don't think you can in a lot of cases, or at least you have to minimize the damage. So yeah, I think at the highest levels they know, but even those people, does every 33rd know? I doubt it. It's strictly a need to know basis. It's way the heck up there in the food chain. So yeah, but yeah, when you have to be accountable. No different than what we're knowing now. I mean, I wasn't kidding when I said, look, I won't do anything malicious. The thing that I put in my videos where I say treat others better than you treat yourself, I live that. And that is you do not do malicious things to people anymore, because karma, she'll come back to bite you in a bad way. Way worse, by the way, if you know where you actually are.
I like how you made karma be a woman. Thanks.
What? Yes,
the
first gods were female.
Flat Earth Head, how Flat Earth Head earlier was talking about an experiment, and then I said, well, we need an email so that people who might want to help out could contact you. He's provided the email, and I'm assuming he's a he. Yeah. flat.earth.head@gmail.com. flat.earth.head@gmail.com. And we are about ready to shut it down here, but I did want to share some holiday videos. So first off, It's a Wonderful Life.
Excellent movie. Jimmy Stewart.
A favorite. Next up, we've got, I passed one, I'm saving for last, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Chevy Chase in his prime. Excellent movie.
Reminds me of my dad's personality somehow.
Yeah.
This is Will Ferrell and Elf.
Yep. Good family movie.
Yes. Up next, we've got the greatest classic Christmas films with Christmas in Connecticut. Christmas Carol, The Shop Around the Corner, and It Happened on Fifth Avenue. Nice. My mom liked It Happened on Fifth Avenue, which is why I have that one. This is fantastic. It's Happy Holidays with Bing and Frank. It's a holiday special in color, and it's just really fun to they talk and walk around as if they're friends and have a drink and then stop and sing some songs and decorate the tree. It's just really neat and kind of kitschy. And lastly, this one is just such a huge part of my childhood. Before DVDs, before we were able to just watch anything whenever you wanted. You had to wait until it came on TV every year when you were a child, in the States anyway. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, yeah, the claymation version.
Yes.
Yeah. Or even before
Rudolph's
claymation.
So cute. Yeah, before claymation. I forgot what this was. Some sort of stop motion.
Yeah, stop motion. That's about the only way you can use it.
And lastly, this ties into the last thing we're going to mention. This is Bill Murray in Scrooged, which is a fun one.
Yeah, great movie. Yet another remake of the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Future.
Charles Dickens.
Yeah, and my favorite version of it.
Now, the reason that I saved that for last was because we mentioned this earlier in the broadcast, but in case you forgot, Mark and I have done a sort of a Christmas card, in a way, an audio video Christmas card, and it's not finished yet, but it will be put out on YouTube soon. And I'm going to put it on my channel. You'll have it on your channel. And it's got music from the movie Scrooged in it. That's all we're going to tell you now. Oh, and we already mentioned you and I sing in it. So bring your earplugs.
It does not sound like you're hitting a baby with a cat, but Lord, it ain't good. You're actually pretty good. I didn't. My voice didn't.
Wait, you rubbed your nose when you said that, and that means you lied when you said I was good.
No, not at all.
Gotcha.
No, I thought it was outstanding work. Anyway,
I'm no singer.
Thank you, by the way, for inviting me on this Christmas show. It was very fun.
And thank you for your festive attire, your holiday pin, your Christmas cookies, and the fire and the stockings. I hope there's something nice in one of those stockings for me. So.
Always you, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, why not? Thanks to all who participated in Q&A and those who emailed me. And when I do find that fun meme somebody made of you, Mark, I'll make sure to send it to you. Hopefully
cool.
It's super humiliating.
I bet.
It's you and George Clooney in nothing but red bows.
Thank you. That's fantastic.
And happy holidays to everyone. Thank you for watching and listening to us ramble on this show, and hopefully many more yet to come. This one's done every Monday, and it's just this sort of thing. And the rest of my shows are interviews with flat earthers, and there will be more to come. And just want to say thanks. Any last words from you, Mark, before you go?
George Clooney.
Keep it flat.